Ladies and gents, hello and welcome. My name, of course, is Potato, and this is Hearts of Iron 4 Unite the Anglosphere. As you can see, we are in the naval mode at present, and what we're going to do to start things off is that we are going to start doing some navy exercises, which is pretty darn important, because it means that we're actually going to start getting some navy experience, which is pretty darn cool. We know too little about this region. Is that really the case? Let's resume. There we go. So everyone should be doing some naval training. I don't actually know at which the rate at which we get experiences. We got 1.188 daily. Now, of course, we got to bear in mind. Oh, Prime Minister restricts king. The crisis has the highest echelons of government. Perhaps the people are right. The king should abdicate. Absolutely not. Minus 50 political power. Oh, yikes. Minus 63. We've got 62 days worth of fuel stockpiled because we're doing naval exercises with the entirety of the home command. As you can see, they are all on naval exercises at the moment, which is a very, very expensive endeavor. But if we can't run all of our home command, I need to take you off patrol because there's no real reason to do patrol. Yeah, we're basically just operating a naval exercise in two areas. Leadership purges in the Soviet Union. Soviet command has suffered greatly. That's fine. Yugoslavian requests sale of airplanes. Divide bomber production. We can't spare anything. Yugoslavia gets the event. Sure, we'll give them some bombers. Sure, that's fine. I'm not super worried about that. That is fine. I don't know why we did assign you. We can unassign you. I don't think that we can actually. Hold on a minute. Support forms for Edward. Great. He's not abdicating. The game keeps on wanting me to make sure that we abdicate, but we're not going to do that. Change of popularity in non-aligned 10%. Gain support for the king, which grants Wheatley stability plus 1%. That's great. What is our stability at the moment? It's not super low, you know. It's actually not in a bad place. But we will get 100 political power, which will basically be enough political power to deal with pretty much everyone. We'll assign you a leader at the moment. We're gonna keep it with you. We're gonna keep it real. You're pretty decent, I think. We've got one unactive unit at the moment that has just increased to 2. I don't believe. So the escort force and then the other force are occasionally not in, but that's not a problem. Decisions are available. Demand reduced trade with Germany. I still don't understand how that event works, but that's not a problem. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Let's do it. Sure, let's do it. I know we shouldn't be wasting our political capital, but it is what it is. Also, it's worth noting that our navy exercises that are currently ongoing include the Pride of the Fleet, HMS Hood, and it will receive various bonuses, but its country will suffer war support if it is sunk. So we need to try and make sure that we don't do that. Parliament opposes the marriage. What do politicians know about love anyway? Absolutely nothing. Politicians know nothing about love, and therefore I'm not interested in their opinions whatsoever. Good. We should probably think about assigning troops to this guy's command. The games are concluded. Construction 1 is finished, which is quite nice. Pretty darn happy with that. We don't want to change the Division 10 plate. We don't want to consolidate. We want to assign them to you. There we go. Perfect. So I think that should be everyone in the UK is now assigned to a single division. Now this will come in handy, but it's not something that we really need to consider at the moment. Can we start an exercise? Yeah, there we go. We'll start an exercise. Why is that giving us attrition? I was not aware that it would give us attrition. I was under the impression that it would not give us attrition. Alright, well I guess we're not running any exercises at the moment. That's fine. But we've got 39 days of fuel left. As I say, we're going to have to stop the naval exercises at some point, but it's at least going to allow us to work up a little bit of a backlog of naval experience. Let's choose a technology. Oh, beautiful. Technology sharing with Australia means that we will now get a little bit of a boost to concentrated industry. Is that what we want to do? I'm not sure that's what we want to do. Max factories in the state plus 20%, factory output plus 15, dockyard output plus 10. Meanwhile, dispersed technology, max factories in the state plus 20, production efficiency retention, factory output, dockyard output, factory bomb vulnerability, conversion speed. I mean, that's a great question. I don't really know. I think that we probably go for concentrated industry. It is just slightly shorter, and also we just get the bonus, which is quite nice. Yeah. But then again, dispersed industry is also, it's just better. It is actually just better. I think, like, straight up in a comparison, max factories in state, we still get that bonus. Factory output is only plus 10% for dispersed industry, but dockyard industry is exactly the same. Plus, we get a whole bunch of extra bonuses. It seems silly not to do it, so let's just go and do it. Sure, let's absolutely go and do that. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, so why do these guys actually suffer attrition? Why would they suffer attrition whilst they're training? To me, that doesn't make sense. Whatever. I'm not going to worry about it too much. We still need a lot more infantry equipment, but that is what it is. The upper classes oppose the marriage. They're just jealous he's found love. Yeah, let's do that. Because he's not abdicating. I'm not letting him abdicate. We completed a brand new hull. I think it was the super heavy battleship hull. Ooh. Spend 50 to gain 100%, 150% bonus on that research. I'm not really interested in spending 150, spending 50 Navy experience. That's not something that I'm terribly interested in doing right now. I think that honestly we've pushed the Navy doctrine quite far. Resource efficiency gain plus 10%. That would be really, really good actually, and that will come in really, really handy when we expand our territory in the Middle East. What we're going to need to do actually, what we need to keep in mind. What's going on here? Are you not the Western Approaches fleet? The two Western Approaches fleet. Alright, whatever. Not quite sure why you're out at sea at the moment. Let's just get you back to base. Alright, whatever. That is what it is, it's fine. Service overseas. Beautiful. The national focus has been completed, which is fantastic. A whole bunch of experience, which is lovely indeed. Encourage colonial elite. Grants research speed plus 5%. That's pretty darn good. Mediterranean Bastion. That's also not too bad. That is also not too bad at all. I think we want to go for the colonial elite. I think that's probably what we want to prioritize first. Why are you doing naval exercises over here? Why? The North Atlantic Fleet. Does that all come under Home Command? I feel that we should not have you over here. Like, that seems to me not a great idea. I think we need to perhaps divvy up these fleets that we've currently got going on, because Mediterranean Command... I mean, these guys are over here. You need to be equipped to Mediterranean Command. Yeah, there's no way. I mean, you're in the Mediterranean Sea, for goodness sake. So it's a little bit ridiculous that we don't already have you in the Mediterranean. You're Mediterranean now. You're in Mediterranean Command. Docked in Alexandria. Western Mediterranean Sea. And that's you. Yeah, we need to just dock you up here. That's fine. I don't want to push the boat out too much, but that is what it is. It's fine. Everyone has now been properly assigned. That's fair. The North Atlantic, Sierra Leone, Falkland Islands, Sierra Leone. Well, the Falkland Islands are over here. Right? Yep, Falkland Islands are over here. Sierra Leone, though. That's testing my geography a little bit. That's Bermuda. I have no idea where Sierra Leone is. Isn't Sierra Leone in... I mean, I can just type it up here. That's not how you spell Sierra Leone. Come on, potato. S-I-E-R-R-A. It's in Africa. Okay. It is in Africa. I thought it was in Africa. Alright, so we've got the North and South America's command fleet. And then we've got the Far East command fleet. And then we've got the United Kingdom fleet, which should be part of the home command group. Yeah, okay, fine. So that, I think, is a slightly better organizational structure that we've just implemented right there. I think that should simplify things. Having a Mediterranean fleet is pretty important. South America, North America, all of that nonsense. And then we've also got the Far East, which, again, is probably going to be spread out, but that's just probably because of the nature of what we've got going on. So we've got you in Sri Lanka. East Indies fleet. Yeah, so you're in Sri Lanka. And then the China fleet, you'll be based in Hong Kong, New Zealand. Pretty obvious where you're going to be. Except you're not based in New Zealand. You're actually based up here in these islands. In Fiji and deep oceans, apparently. Eastern Micronesia. Alright. And then the 4th Submarine Flotilla, which is based in Singapore. Alright, okay, that's cool. I feel that that's a little bit... I've gained a little bit of an understanding of what's going on over here. The world is a little bit more understandable at the moment. 6% attrition. Yeah, I feel like we're going to be reducing our manpower quite substantially. But we are gaining army experience, and that is what's important. We are about to call off all of the naval exercises. I mean, we just cannot really sustain this number of naval exercises. So let's pause and have a little think about what we want to do. Yeah, well, first of all, we'll just turn off all of the naval exercises, but then we will reactivate them in time. There we go. So, yeah, maybe we could select a couple. Maybe we'll get you. Cabinet, whoa! Edward, okay, let's deal with this first. The cabinet resigns. Oh my goodness! The king has shown no intention to listen to his government. Stanley Baldwin has seen no other solution but to dissolve it. In a statement, he says it's evident that the cabinet cannot function without the trust of the monarch. It's repeatedly disregarding the unanimous advice of his ministers. It has been made clear that the advice is neither desired nor observed. And so later tonight, I met with His Majesty to offer the resignation of the cabinet. Wowzers. Good riddance, they shall not stop the king. Fallen government becomes leader for the Democratic Party. Cabinet crisis, political power gain minus 50%, stability minus 10%. Alright, wowzers, holy cow, our stability went way down and our political power is now in the gutter. Okay, Edward VIII holds his radio speech. Edward has at least managed to persuade the government to allow him to make a radio speech, illustrating what he refers to as his side of the story. He's expressed hopes that this will allow the people to better understand why he feels he must act as he does. Turns out his side of the story was pretty convincing. Change in popularity of non-aligned 5%, gain-based stability, political power gain. Political power gain plus 50. Alright, stability is not completely in the gutter as of yet, but it's kind of getting there, to be honest. No divisions in basic training, that's not a problem. I'm not going to worry about that too much at the moment. We're still working on getting our infantry equipment into some place that it actually is kind of respectable. But it is what it is. All right, we're still making a bunch of boats, which is kind of nice. A whole bunch of boats we are making. We're encouraging the colonial elite. Oh, would you look at that? That's a nice little image of the House of Commons there. It's just chilling. Political power gain minus 50% and stability minus 10%. Fallen government, cabinet crisis. Holy cow. That's crazy. That's crazy. This whole path is completely bonkers. What was I doing? Accident from training. That's kind of cool. This is a whole new feature, by the way. That's very, very interesting. Oh, you can see the pride of the fleet. The pride of the fleet. HMS Hood. HMS Hood. So we should have. Yeah, let's turn you on. Yep, so there we go. We've got... Oh, it's recalculating. US Congress passes the Neutrality Act. So we've got one dude who is currently... I say one dude. One fleet. One dude. One fleet which is currently training. But even that is such a substantial drain on our resources that it might not even be possible. It's a very, very powerful fleet, this, actually. We've got a lot of destroyers, a lot of submarines, a lot of light cruisers. Yeah, it's a pretty darn big fleet overall. And a lot of them are made up in this group. So maybe we select a slightly smaller group to start doing some training exercises. I think it'll recalculate. There we go. Okay, it's going to take a heck of a lot of days, but we're doing fine. Change in popularity of non-aligned, gain base stability. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So we are increasing the amount of fuel that we're going to get coming in. And what we've also got to keep in mind is that as our research rumbles ever onwards, excavation is going to become available to us, which is lovely, lovely, lovely. And once we have excavation, we're going to gain some more resources, which is just fantastic. I do want to build more silos. That is something that I'm kind of keen on doing, which is very, very nice. Oh, look at these guys. They're all hard at work. They're all hard at work, just doing some exercises, which is lovely. It still doesn't explain to me why they've got attrition. I don't understand that. Like, it's not attrition of manpower, but it is what it is, I guess. Maybe it's attrition of resources. But it doesn't seem like we really need to. It doesn't seem like we've had a large number of infantry equipment. Yeah, we've got a large deficit, but I don't think it's because of training. So if anyone knows why that's the case, please let me know. That was a little event there, but it doesn't particularly matter for our intents and purposes. I'm just happy that we're gaining fuel. Happy that our army is actually doing not too badly. What have we got coming up next? Probably we've got the colonial elite finishing off. We've got research finishing off pretty darn soon. Depth charge thrower. We're gaining military experience at a pretty darn slow rate now. We're not training with our home fleet. Okay, so encourage colonial elite. Boom, we got that. Dominions break with the crown. Gain base stability minus 15%, political power minus 100, remove allies faction, United Kingdom leaves Commonwealth research, the Dominion of Canada becomes free, South Africa becomes free, the British Raj becomes free, Lord Linlithgow retires, British Raj leaves Commonwealth research, Australia becomes free, New Zealand becomes free, Dominion of Canada create faction, Commonwealth of Nations. Continue preparations for the marriage. Okay. So we are now alone. We are now alone. India is a thing. Look at this. They don't have any diplomacy. Australia is in the Commonwealth of Nations, but we are not in the Commonwealth of Nations. We're not in the Commonwealth of Nations. We're not in there. That sucks. That sucks. So that is what it is. It's not something that we can really deal with right now. So we are sort of on our own. And by sort of on our own, I mean we are very much on our own. British Malaya is an integrated puppet, which is kind of nice, I guess, but whatever. Can we actually do anything with Australia? We can ask for docking rights. Guarantee independence. We can't even do that. Ask to join the faction. Australia has strategic reasons not to ally the United Kingdom, -200. I suspect that that is probably the case for all of these nations. Ask to join faction. Oh, they will actually let me join the faction. South Africa's leader of the Commonwealth Nations. We need world tension at least 80% for me to join the Commonwealth of Nations. I feel that that's a little bit over-egging it, but that is what it is. Let's have a little look at what we want to get next. Okay, so this is still fine. We can still fortify. I mean, look, we gotta be honest, right? I mean, sure, we lost Canada, but we still got a bit of Canada, right? We lost Canada. We lost South Africa, but we still got a heck of a lot of Africa. We lost India, but we still, you know, we still have bits dotted around here. I was gonna point at you, but that's not actually ours. You know, we still got bits and bobs around the place. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's still fine. It's not the end of the world. And I'm hoping that a lot of this colonial stuff will apply to the stuff that we still technically own, as opposed to obviously not owning it. Indian independence, I suspect, is probably not on the menu anymore, given the fact that India is already independent. So what do we want to do? Mediterranean Bastion or something else? We still cannot form the King's Party because the marriage has still not happened, so we're still waiting for that. Truthfully, I think that we probably want to go for the Mediterranean Bastion. Sure. 3 coastal fort province in Alexandria. As we know, this is going to be an important area for us if we have a little look at resources. Yeah, so there's some oil over here, and I love me some oil. Okay, working away. Nothing that we can really do when it comes to any of this nonsense. We just gotta sort of wait it out. Armor, we could work on some armor. I don't think we're actually building any armor at the moment. I might be wrong about that. I'll go and check it in just a second, but we're not building any armor. We're certainly not building any aircraft at the moment, which is something which we should probably change, but something that I'm not going to worry about that too much. Mechanical computing, that is absolutely something that we need to work on, so let's do that. Man, I always do this. I always set out and I say, oh, I'm going to start researching a whole bunch of boats. I'm going to start researching a whole bunch of tanks, a whole bunch of aircraft, whatever. But I never manage to, because I always get super waylaid by the industry tab and just how gorgeous it actually looks. Like, just look at all of these bonuses. I love it. Newspapers oppose the marriage. Change in base popularity of non-aligned, -2%. Gain base stability, -5. I mean, that's not exactly great. Our output is now severely reduced in both dockyards and factories at the moment, and our political power gain is basically non-existent. Basically non-existent at all. Like, it just basically doesn't exist anymore, which kind of sucks. Non-aligned is still increasing. It's still increasing slowly. We no longer get the effects from diverted bomber production. I mean, that's kind of nice. So we retain our production a little bit more, but that's fine. Mediterranean Bastion. We're just going to have to wait, I guess, for the non-aligned faction to continue to grow. We're obviously still waiting for this marriage to happen. Events or decisions time out. Yep, I mean, we can't do any foreign influence stuff anymore. Whoa, ho, ho. The Spanish Civil War. Nationalist Spain declared war on Spain. Interesting. Well, I would expect us to get to know nationalist Spain pretty darn well. I'm kind of hoping that nationalist Spain wins it. I think that that's probably what's going to happen. I guess we can keep an eye on things over here. Yeah, it looks probably like that'll be the case. So, looks like Franco's going to be the man. Franco is going to be the man in Spain as opposed to Jose Diaz? I don't know. But yeah, we're certainly championing nationalist Spain in the hope that Franco allies up with big man, big man, big man in Berlin. And, of course, the big man in Italy. That's the plan, anyway, because I'm certainly not coming to France's aid. Working classes support the marriage. Nice. Change in popularity of non-aligned. Gain base stability plus 5%. You know, it's not much, but it counts. Seeking a united front against enemies, France has reached out to Czechoslovakia with an order forming a little entente to unite against the common enemies, thereby foregoing their bonds with Britain from the Great War. While offered a place in the defense pact, the British Prime Minister made it clear that Britain does not consider the alliance beneficial to the protection of European liberty. Fine, I don't really care. Also, there is no British Prime Minister at the moment. There is literally no British Prime Minister at the moment. So, yeah. That is what it is. So, yeah, France and Czechoslovakia actually allied up. So that's going to be kind of interesting to see what happens, because, of course, Germany's got a whole bunch of events. They've got West Wall. Alright. Well, they've got a whole bunch of interesting events which are actually going to, or which usually anyway, end up taking Czechoslovakia, taking a bunch of Czechoslovakian territory. It's not a lot of it, I don't think, but it's like all of those provinces and some other, I can't remember. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see if that event still happens and if it procs and what France does. And of course, we'll have to wait and see. What did I just finish researching? I can't honestly remember. But industry, we're pretty much researching all that we possibly can. We're a little bit ahead of our time for construction and also improved machine tools. I kind of want improved machine tools, to be honest. I always do this. I always end up going into the industry tab. Maybe let's not go into the industry tab. Maybe let's just try and build some other stuff. You know what? Let's get an improved airline catapult. It's only going to take 57 days anyway, so there's no big harm in doing that. Minus 177 political power. Have you ever seen a political power amount that low? Truthfully, I never have. Army experience is in a pretty darned low place. I presume it's probably because of the attrition, but I still don't understand why this attrition is happening. Yeah, no idea. No idea. I'm presuming it must be... Hey! Would you look at this? We no longer get the effects from support the king. That's fine. The royal marriage of Edward VIII. But will it mend the divides in our nation? Only 50 political power. Gain base stability plus 5%. Change in popularity of non-aligned 5%. Okay, great. So non-aligned is still 36%. But does that stop me from doing the King's Party event? I don't think it does. I think we can now do the King's Party event. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yes, we actually can do the King's Party event. So I'm going to let the Mediterranean Bastion finish out, because I think that's pretty important. We're going to want to make sure that we've actually got a strong presence in this part of the world. So the fact that we've only got a couple of troops down here kind of makes me a little bit concerned. We're probably going to have to get some troops either shipped over there or trained up, and that is something that we're definitely going to have to focus on in the next episode. In fact, how are things going over here? Fine. In fact, that's something that we will need to consider just in general. We need to make sure that we're increasing our production of... No factories assigned? Really? How did that end up happening? Did we end up losing a factory? Not entirely certain how that ended up working, but whatever. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Yeah, so we're going to need to make sure that we get people trained up, but of course we're going to need to make sure that we finish this backlog of resources, finish building a whole bunch of inventory equipment, which is going to take a heck of a long time to do, but we'll probably manage to get there in the next episode. Okay, we just finished dispersed industry. We're into 1937 now. I think that we probably want to try and get all of this stuff like as soon as possible. Fuel refining, yeah, I do actually want to try and get fuel refining, because this whole fuel refining thing is actually going to make it's going to have a significant impact on our ability to be a successful naval power, so we're going to need to worry about that. However, I think dispersed industry is probably what we want to do as a first port of call. As I say, I think that we made the right decision here with dispersed industry. Let's get that up and running, and then, ladies and gents, we're going to call the episode there. A little bit of a weird one this time. We are up and running. We are training. I can get you guys back to base. but it doesn't particularly matter. The army's using a tiny little bit of fuel. The navy's using most of the fuel, but it doesn't particularly matter. We're gonna get there in the end. We're slowly but surely gaining a bunch of army experience and gaining a bunch of navy experience as well. So yeah, things are going pretty darn well. Ladies and gents, thank you very, very much for watching. I've been Oba the Potato. This has been Unite the Anglosphere. I'll see you next time. Bye.